Welcome to Unfiltered 3, Spilling the Tea with Cece,
Autumn,
and Bree.
Hi, friends. Welcome to the first episode of Unfiltered 3.
We're finally here.
And we're so damn excited. I'm one of your hosts. I'm Autumn. Nice to meet you guys.
Yes, I'm Bree. I'm so excited to officially introduce myself.
Yes, and I'm Cece, and ditto.
I mean, this has been a long time coming, right? You know, we
put a lot of heart into this.
Yes. Oh my gosh. We've done so much planning. So much has gone into this. Blood, sweat, tears, and love.
Yes.
And there's one thing that we have in common that we knew we wanted to bring into this podcast. And that's, our friendship
Mm-hmm.
and how we have come to a place where we're learning / are able to be our authentic selves, have that genuine connection and deep conversations about anything. And being able to also have fun. Like, we can go from so serious and talking about like the deepest mental health things.
Like past childhood trauma, deep conversation where it's raw and you're about to cry, and then literally 5 minutes later we're have stitches in our side from the laughter that we have.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah. And we wanted to bring that into this podcast. So we have kind of an array of episodes ahead.
Mm-hmm.
We have setting goals. We do tarot.
Yes, we do tarot readings. It's one of the things we like to do most. And we find that it just helps with like an easy conversation flow.
Yeah. And then we also, some days, we just play games. We just want to have some fun.
Some of my favorite raw moments are just, being silly together. I like those.
Yeah.
But through each episode, you're going to get to learn to know us more and more. And we're just genuinely excited and just so ready to make those connections with you.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
And I think to get started with that, you guys should know a little bit about who we are. And I think we'll kind of just give a brief, that wasn't a word, a brief synopsis of who we are, how we got to this point, and kind of start to build that friendship and connection with you guys.
Yeah.
So to go first.
Who's going first? What's funny is I joked with the girls before we start this, but it always feels like when you're coming back from summer break and you're in that classroom and you have to do that dreaded icebreaker shit.
Mm-hmm.
Don't worry, guys. I'm excited to share myself with you guys, but this is just a little awkward for me.
It brings back those moments of...
And you just like start rattling off your basic, information.
You start to memorize them because they kind of repeat the icebreakers. Like one of them that I remember is like having a letter of the alphabet and then of a description of you, and then it has to be the same letter as your first name. So I was always Bubbly Bree. Because what else be? I'm not going to call myself beautiful in like a bunch of middle schoolers.
Yeah, there's a couple other ones, but I'm not going to say it.
I mean, my Instagram handle now, Botanical Bree.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah.
So I guess I'll start. So hi, it's Autumn again. I was born in New York, lived there till about 10 years old. And then I moved with my sister and my parents down to Virginia. And I finished out the rest of my schooling down there. It was an interesting time. In New York, I had a sense of, it's where you grow up, right? So like you have your friends, you have your family, you have that sense of community in a way. Mm-hmm. Virginia, I knew no one. Absolutely knew no one. It was the middle of middle school. It was an it was terrible. Absolute terrible time. I had friends, don't get me wrong. I don't want to knock those relationships. I hold them dear to my heart. Mm-hmm. But I don't think I found like my true friend until high school, probably sophomore year of high school. But yeah, and then I went to about one semester of college down there until life experiences happened and I moved back up here. Very, very mad.
Yeah.
I was not happy about being moved back up here, but we'll touch on that later on.
Yes.
And I am so thankful right now that that happened, because had that not happened, I wouldn't have met the two lovely girls sitting in the room with me. So when I moved back up here, my only friends were my family. I hadn't lived here since I was 10. Everyone was between 18 and 20 now. So it was just very, very different. You're very different between 10 and 18. You do a lot of maturing, a lot of growing. And honestly, where I grew up in Virginia was just so different than where we live here in New York. And so it was almost a culture shock as well. But through my cousins, who have always been my brothers, I made my friends. And yeah, and so that's kind of where we are now. And we have this really great, really complicated, trying to explain our friend group is just so complicated.
Yeah.
Because we're all, related in one way or another. And
that is kind of true.
and I won't make the joke.
I know. But yeah, so that's just a brief touch on my life. I currently, more current, I have 2 beautiful half Maine Coon cats that I love oh so dearly and just turned 4 last week. I have a boyfriend that I have been with for almost 7 years, and I have a full-time job that
pays them
great.
bills.
Work Monday through Friday. It's I'm very blessed. I will say that I'm very blessed. And so yeah, I'm excited. Through more of these episodes, you will learn who I am in deeper ways. We'll have more conversations and touch more topics, and I can't wait to share with you guys.
Yeah. And something I love about living here now, with being friends with you and having my fiance Andy, who is part of that friend group entanglement, is, I was kind of isolated with my family growing up. We lived with my family in California for 4 years, but then we moved out here and it was just me, my parents, and my sister. And I miss that element of family. I always gravitated towards the idea of having a big family with lots of love. And it's something that I have now, and I really cherish it.
Yeah. We cherish you.
But, I grew up with my family in New York, and I honestly don't have a ton of memories of my childhood to go into more detail there. But there's an aspect of that involves mental health that we'll get into other conversations about later. But that's kind of what sparked my journey on mental health. And it's always been a special interest of mine in wanting to go on that self-healing journey, that self-love journey, to the point where I ended up going to college for wellness management and focused on mental health. But before that, I went to a different college, and that's where I met my fiance. And, I had a traumatic incident there. I have PTSD because of it. But we always talk about looking on the bright side of things, and the bright side of me going to that school was Andy. So, and because of Andy, I wouldn't be with you guys today. Okay, that's a sentence, Brie. If I hadn't been with Andy, I wouldn't have met you guys. I wouldn't be with this big, happy family of friends and family. And I'm truly grateful to be here now with all of you.
Yeah,
That was so heartfelt.
Yeah.
And on top of that, I also have 2 kitties named Jasper and Ollie. And I don't remember what else you touched on, but they needed to have a honorable mention.
I agree. We all have cats. I have Miss French Fry, who is a spicy one. But yeah, I've known these girls for a little bit now. I've actually known Andy, as you say. Andrew, as the rest of us call him. The longest. I've known him since birth. And I want to say that, like, I've met some other people that he's dated along the way, and nothing. When I met Brie first time, I just want to say I literally pulled Andrew off to the side and said, "Don't fucking mess this up," because that's how much we love her, and from the get-go have felt like this girl's something special. So, and I am the teary one, and now I'm tearing up, and oh my God.
Something that won't, like, I felt that in my heart. I'm like, oh, I feel so good. But then as soon as you start tearing up, I'm like, nope,
I know.
it's not happening.
I know.
I'm not going to tear up with you.
And my reaction is to laugh.
Yeah, at this point, with how
Like,
much, I mean,
tears awkward.
Yes. Oh, I'm an
Not
emotional
awkward for
person.
you, just
No,
me
yeah,
awkward.
Yeah. No. But yeah, you will get to probably hear me tear up a lot. Well, not hear me, but be with me as I
Yeah.
tear up.
Yeah.
I'm very emotional. I feel things deep. And when I share genuine moments, I get very emotional.
And we love that about you.
Yes. That's one of the things I love you girls so much, because I, throughout my life, have had people who are there for me, who I've loved, my friends, my family. But you guys, there is definitely a genuine connection where walls come down. And even the other day, I was bawling. I said, I have a bad day, and they're listening to me, and I'm tearing up like this. But I don't leave the room thinking I'm totally embarrassed or whatever. I'm just like, oh, I just had a real authentic moment, and they just accept it for what it is. So I'm very happy and genuinely blessed to have you guys in my life. And I've gone through some really hard times with you girls by my side, and I want to just thank you for that.
Always.
Thank you. You have also been there for us.
That is very true.
I do the best I can. Okay. So I've how long have I known you now? It's been a while.
So I don't
Autumn.
I don't know the exact way. I was still living with my parents, I think, when I first met you.
Yeah. It's
On
been
a
hot minute.
a very manipulated trip.
Oh God.
and not by
Not by
Cece
me.
herself.
But I met Autumn through my brother.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of an age gap, but never
It has
never an awkward gap.
But it's never felt that way.
Yeah.
At least for me. I've never been like, oh, she's older than me or whatever.
Maybe
It's
once
always
I
just
get my
been,
AARP card. And
no,
then it will
bitch,
be
we're
like,
gonna
oh,
take
shit.
advantage of that.
I get you those discounts, girls. Don't worry.
On Tuesdays, we're gonna go to lunch.
Oh God! But this is what I'm talking about. These are the moments I love.
We went to Turning Stone with your parents, and that was the first time I met you. I was so terrified. Guys, I didn't want to be there. But I'm a people pleaser at heart, and especially at that time, I just didn't know how to say no to people when they really wanted me to be and go do something. And I thought my cousin was coming, and then he wasn't. It was a whole thing.
We just thought you
We
were
can
like
talk about that at a later
embarrassed
time.
and shy. So
I was
we're like,
shy.
oh,
I am
well,
shy.
yeah.
When you first get to know me personally.
Yeah, once I found out the real story later, I was obviously laughing at you / with you, but it's just maybe another time we'll explain that. But other than that, yeah.
But no, that was the first time we met. But when we became like actual friends, it was probably like 5 years ago. 5 years ago
when we really started hanging out.
I
think something like that.
I think I started hanging out with both of you
very
separately.
Yeah.
Like you had just started coming into our life through Andrew, and then
I had just started
yours was actually
hanging out more with Andrew.
Yeah, you had just started coming over with my cousin and Andrew.
Yeah, so I've known Andrew since birth. I don't know if I already said that, but I've known him. Just like to put that out there.
I've known him the longest.
Yeah, I've his family's the best. I love them. Shout out. But yeah, we just started hanging out a lot, the three of us. Naturally, Autumn's like, hey, come on over, we're all hanging out.
Well, so my thought was, I haven't always made friends with females. It hasn't always been the easiest, I guess I should say. And so, you and I were like instantaneous. We clicked, we were good, we were good. You and I were harder because we had such thick walls from our trauma.
Oh yeah.
But once that wall came down, it's a bond that's never going to break. And so I was like, I just had this, I think it happened with one of our girls' trips is where I kind of cemented our friendship as a three, where like, I was like, okay, Cece and I are spending all the time together. And then the time that I'm not with Cece, I'm with Bree. Well, why don't I just take the two of them and then the three of us can hang out because we have similar conversations.
Yeah.
And I was like, and I feel like this would be a lot of fun. And then we do this girls' weekend at Bree's parents' house every summer, which is coming up, guys. And I'm so fucking excited.
Yes.
And so I was like, well, Bree, why don't we invite Cece? That would be so much fun. The three of us, and we can do all this stuff. And we had a blast.
Yeah.
And we had such deep conversations that were just so easy.
Yeah.
They were so easy.
Easy. That's a good explanation of it.
Yeah. And so that's kind of where it started. And then I think I started our group chat, and that's kind of just where it's been going from there.
Yeah.
And one thing I really want to touch on quick, Cece, your background. I didn't know this about you at first, but your experiences with travel, I thought that was so cool. I didn't know how much you've traveled, and I was wondering if you'd talk about it a little bit.
Yeah, I'm very lucky to have been able to travel quite a bit throughout my life. I've been to Italy and a few times in Hawaii and back and forth from California to all sorts of different states throughout the US. Don't ask me to name them.
Can you name all 50 states?
No.
Do you know the song?
Do you know the state song?
No.
That's the only reason I know all 50 states.
I
completely
couldn't
honest.
even get through the A's. I'm that bad.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
But you know what? You have your strengths in other places, so it's okay.
That's right. Yeah. I did go to college. I do have a degree. So yeah. But I'll definitely like my life's very complicated. Like there's so many chapters to my life.
Oh, I love
So
that.
there are many stories that you guys will hear over our podcast.
Yeah.
I
I'm
love
so
how you
excited.
put that.
Yeah.
The different chapters.
Yeah.
That's how I try and look at every decade. Like, so like every 10 years that you live, like your 20s is your chapter, 30 and coming into is a new chapter. And then trying to look at it, it's like, oh, this is fun. It's a new chapter. Leaving the 20s of like unsureness and
the baby adulthood.
Yeah, and like,
you think you're
finding
gonna
your
get
footing.
the answers once you get to your 30s. You're
Well, I don't think I'm gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna wake up on my birthday and be like, oh, I know everything now. No, but I do think that I am more solid in who I am.
Definitely.
And so therefore I know other things are gonna happen for me.
Yeah, you do over time. You just get to know yourself a little better. And throughout your 20s, I feel like it's more you get to explore everything and you get to experience everything. Everything you do is obviously new. So, you really find yourself, I feel like, through those late 20s, early 30s. I think those are some of the best times.
Yeah.
Aging myself.
But yeah, so the group chat, that's where everything started. That's also where the podcast started.
True. It was a little text sent, hey, we already get together and talk and cry together and have all these emotional great moments. Maybe some other people might want to hear. Kind of, genuine passing, like, oh, let's start a podcast. Not like, holy moly, like things started moving for us pretty quickly and things became a reality.
I remember sitting at my desk at work and being like, so my one best friend said we should start a podcast. And then my other best friend made that shit happen.
Yeah.
And now I'm starting a podcast.
Yeah. One thing I didn't mention is that I'm a marketing manager and a project manager, and this is literally what I do for work. So when I got the positive, like CC said, let's start a podcast, and Anna was like, yeah, we totally should. And I'm like, okay.
And then we had a room.
And that's
yeah, I literally cleaned out the room, I think, that weekend.
Yeah.
That's when I was like,
it's
oh,
ready.
okay, this is happening. It's just one of those things where it's like, hey, we should go to Rome in June or July or whatever. And you're like, yeah, we should do that. But it doesn't happen.
You're like,
I was like, this
cafe
is
and biscuits
happening.
are good or whatever here in our own house. But no, we're on the plane. We're headed there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like, and it was interesting. And it's been a very roller coaster. You know, life has its ups and downs with continuous growth throughout those ups and downs. And it's been very much that with the podcast and trying to figure out our flow,
Mhm.
you know, how we want to do things, how we want to launch, how we want to connect with you guys, you know, figuring out what to do. We had a lot of readings that helped guide us through those times. And then we had that one final reading in an episode you may be listening to very soon that kind of just gave us the kick in the ass to do it.
Yeah.
So we've kind of experimented a little with different types of episodes, gearing up, ready for this launch.
Yes.
So we definitely want you guys to listen and tell us which ones you like best, what we can improve on, and so we can make more of ones that you guys want to listen to. I definitely am very excited about listener feedback.
Yeah, that's something we all collectively agreed on, is how important we want this to be a safe, interactive space where we want to build that connection with you
Mhm.
guys.
Yeah.
And making sure, again, that this is a safe space where we don't leave any room for judgment. We
Mm-mm.
want everyone to be able to be their authentic, vulnerable selves, because we are going to have some vulnerable episodes.
Mhm.
And we're going to make sure that both ourselves and our listeners, you guys, are safe in this space to do so.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we want everyone to
absolutely.
remember that we're only human.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep. We're only human and we're constantly learning and we're constantly growing. But with that being said, one thing you will learn about me and us are boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just want to put it out there. We will not tolerate any kind of hate at all whatsoever. If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say it.
Yeah.
Don't spread it. We want love and compassion and empathy
Mm-hmm.
and understanding.
Yeah.
Nothing else.
Absolutely.
Agree.
And it will not be tolerated. Just gonna say that again.
Period. The end.
Bish, bye. Mic drop. But yeah, no. So we decided to launch June 26th. It's our first episode as you're listening.
Yes.
And yeah, I mean, it's been so fun, and we have so many, like Cece said, we went through all the different topics and like what to touch, what do we want to talk about, and we have such a wide variety.
Mm-hmm.
So tarot reading, Bree has brought that into our lives the most,
Yes.
I will
Yeah.
say. And it's something that I think that we've bonded over quite a bit. And
Mm-hmm.
it's almost in a way allowed us to open up those floodgates, right? Like open up that opportunity for conversation where you're like, I really feel drawn to talk about this with someone, but like, how the fuck do I get there?
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't know about you guys, but I struggle with that small talk.
Oh,
It is not for me.
Yeah.
I get so awkward. I don't know what to
Dread it.
say.
Mhm.
They're always like, don't mention the weather. I'm the one mentioning the weather because I don't know what else to talk about. What's relevant?
That's the script on TV shows and stuff. So I'm like, that's the weather.
I'm like, I want those deeper conversations. Like, I want to talk about what is up, not, oh, hey, what's up? No, what's up?
Not about you, no.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Good.
Yeah.
But so yeah, like tarot readings allowed us to do that, and we want to bring that with you guys here. And then we have episodes, like Bree said, about our mental health, touching on that. Eventually, I believe we will do episodes about each of our stories, what we
Mm-hmm.
struggle with, just to try and connect with you guys. And we would love for you to share your stories and your thoughts, when you feel safe and when you're ready.
Yeah.
Hmm. And speaking of tarot, you mentioned it briefly, but there is a tarot reading that we did that solidified that we were going to start this.
Yeah.
And it was just so goosebumpy, bone chilling. It was just,
Powerful.
yes.
I mean, we've been doing tarot for, I feel like, a couple years, right? Like maybe 1 or 2 years.
I think at least since 2020.
And that was probably, at least for me, the most intense reading as far as like affirmation to can do it.
Yeah. I mean, it was so much that we hung it up on our wall and we look at it as we podcast. And it's something that we do plan on eventually sharing with you guys once we reach 100 episodes. It's a good goal.
Yeah.
Yes. But yeah, so, we got tarot, and then we also have other episodes of, just having a fun, easy night. Sometimes, when you have had a hard week mentally, you're feeling that burnout, whatever the case may be, you've just had a shit week, man. 'Cause those happen. You want to do something fun. So occasionally we're going to throw some games out there, and you let us know if you like the game we played, if you want us to do it again, if you have a suggestion for a game that we could play. We are open.
Definitely.
So it's just kind of like a wide variety of episodes to expect from us.
Yeah. And I think with that, I brought up the suggestion of ending on a 1-card tarot poll.
Yeah.
On what we will get out of this podcast.
Yeah.
And that's us, you listening, all of us, what we'll get out of this podcast once you subscribe.
So
all right, harmless
self-promotion.
Yeah. If you're listening this far in, just click that button.
But while Bree's pulling a card, I like to close my eyes, do a little breathing, and try and concentrate really on the question at hand. So that's what I will be doing.
Yeah, you want to bring the vibe. Gotta get that vibe.
So, what will we get out of this?
That was quick. Elixirs. Elixirs love me, guys.
Emotions.
Emotions.
I don't have any of those.
I don't have any of those. I'm just kidding. I have them too deeply.
Exactly.
All right, see, this one, I had a face on my face. I had a look on my face.
What? You had a face on your face?
Ooh.
Hopefully it was Andrew's.
I had a look on my face because we pulled the 5 of elixirs and it's a very sad card.
Oh.
So I'm like, how is this going to be spun? What is the message behind this?
What is the message?
The 5 of elixirs is a card of unbelievable sadness and grief. You have experienced a loss in your life and it feels as though you will never be happy again, but you will. How you choose to deal with this pain determines how quickly you can move on. The 5 of elixirs can also mean that old wounds are bubbling up to the surface and holding you back. You are so focused on what has happened in the past that you can't see all the positives that are flourishing in your life. You know what my gut is telling me?
What? Because mine's confused.
Spinning that into what we will get out of this podcast. It's like, that's the place that you may be in now, listening. You have your own past stuff, traumas, things that keep popping up in your life. Maybe you are on the self-healing journey already. Maybe you're about to start. Maybe this will help you through it. We are all on that journey. And by going on that journey together, we will help each other through this. We will help each other through that sadness, work through our past traumas, and talk through all this stuff so that we can build that supportive community and heal together.
It's on the same marks as what I was thinking. I was intaking it as how I referenced earlier chapters as that maybe this is the end of one chapter in the because you can't have the new chapter without ending the first one. So this might be a new start, and there might be more people on this ride with us than we might think.
Yeah. Honestly, I think that's a really touching message. Like, I just
Yeah.
feel that in my heart. Like, just, I hope that that means we can be those people for our listeners and vice versa and for each other and all of that. We're building that community so that we can learn, grow, and heal together.
Yeah.
I love it.
All right, guys, I think that's it for this episode.
Yeah. We hope that you'll be here next week when we talk about our summer goals.
Yes, can't wait.
Thanks for joining us on another episode of Unfiltered 3. Remember, we release new episodes every Monday. But if that's not enough, connect with us on our socials at Unfiltered 3, where we can uplift, inspire, and embark on this journey together. Thank you for listening and for being a part of our community. Until next time, take care and keep shining your authentic light. Bye, guys.
Bye.